Hello and welcome race fans to the Late Apex Racing Club Season 3 debut here at Sebring International Raceway. This will be race 1 of an 8-race season where drivers will be competing in the latest GT4 spec machinery. As this is the first public broadcast of a Late Apex race, I'd like to give you a brief overview of what the drivers will be fighting for this season. This 8-race season will be split between 4 50 to 60 minute endurance rounds that require at least one pit stop and 4 sprint race weekends. The sprint races are set up as 20-minute first heat followed by a 25-minute feature race, and the feature has a top 6 invert of the starting grid. We have 2 championships to account for, an overall drivers championship and a team championship. Teams are limited to 2 drivers per team, and the point structure for drivers and teams are identical. Drivers can score a maximum of 60 points per race weekend. Sprint races are worth 30 points each, meaning if you win both heat races, that's equivalent to winning the endurance race. There are 2 drop weeks for the Drivers' Championship. However, the Team Championship does not have any drop weeks, so contenders will be looking to capitalize on points if their opponents have an off week. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my very first broadcast outside of test sessions, so please bear with me as I navigate this amazing but complicated SDK gaming software so we can present to you as much of the action as we possibly can. There will be some clunkiness, however. My only hope is that things will get better and smoother as the season goes on. Today's race at Sebring is going to be a great one. We have perfect weather here. No rain in the forecast. Right now track temperature is right around 33 degrees C. It will get cooler. This is a late afternoon, almost into the evening type of event. So the track will cool down, especially in between heats, which means the lap times will get faster and faster as the weekend goes on. We will go ahead and skip ahead to the qualifying session here, and we're going to follow a car around the track and talk about some of the drivers. Alright, on your screen is Matthew Mayer. This is our defending championship from Season 2. He took the championship in the last race of the season and is looking to continue that success in Season 3. He's driving the Ford Mustang GT4, part of the Bing Chilling team with his teammate Fuad Al-Rishla. Logan McKenzie is our Season 1 champion. He is driving the Mercedes GT4. Had previously been driving the BMW and then McLaren for Season 1, and then McLaren and Porsche for Season 2. So a new car, fresh Bucky's livery for him. He's going to be looking to get back to that top step of the championship and continue that success. Series vet Jason Lynn has a brand new team and a brand new livery for this season. The Big Honkers AMG has, that's just wonderful. Absolutely beautiful liveries, part of the Glass and Steel. That is his company that he designs liveries for. Highly recommend, just absolutely premium product right there. If you're looking for a custom livery, reach out to Jason. He'll get you set up. Raymond 2 is in the Weenie Hut, let's see, B4D Weenie Hut Racing GT4. That is going to be one of our contenders as well this season. Has some really great results, and he'll be looking to get more podiums this season and more consistency, and he'll be right up at the top. Alright, we're going to skip ahead to the end of qualifying here and our grid. Alright, after qualifying, Matthew Mayer puts it on pole in the Bing Chilling Machine, 210.488. Connor Acatella in the Aston Martin puts it on the front row. That's impressive. Raymond 2 is third, with Logan McKenzie starting fourth. Chris McDonald and Jason Lynn round out your third row. Mike D'Almeida and Damon Mitchell starting 7th and 8th. Mark Darnell and Kurt Smith, 9th and 10th. Slugnificent will start 11th, with Ethan Brown starting 12th. 13th, we have Fuad Al-Rajla. 14th, Lieutenant Dan. 15th, Matthew Berger making his series debut in the green BMW. And 16th, we have Austin Dunbar. And rounding out our field is Jeremy Barber. See, we have a short pace lap here, so we're going to stick with it for now and see if we can get this going a little quicker. We have a beautiful pace truck here. He's going to lead the field to the green. And we're just waiting for, oh, there's a little flash. Okay, Connor's on the grid. And we'll go ahead. And they're off. So they're going to start at the end of the Ullman Straight, heading into Sunset. Green flag will drop, and it'll be chaos onto turn 1. See what happens. All right, the pace truck veers off over the cones. Barney has the green flag in hand, and it is go. Matthew Mayer gets a great jump off the line, immediately pulls ahead. Connor Akatala follows behind, but Raymond 2 is looking on the inside into turn 1. Oh, there's a wreck. We have Kurt Smith. Oh, that Weenie Hut General car is gonna have to go to the hospital. That is unfortunate right at the start. He'll probably pull over here and be forced to tow. But up front we have Matthew Bayer, who leads Connor Akatela, Raymond 2, and then Logan McKenzie as your top 4. Oh, we have some movement back here. Slugnificent and Fuad Al-Rajla going side by side as the drivers in the mid-pack try to sort out and get back into a single file line as best as they can without losing too many positions. Slugnificent a little bit out of place with qualifying. He has top tier pace, but perhaps didn't get the lap that he wanted. But he'll be looking to move up as quickly as possible and get up towards the front. Behind we have Matthew Berger looking to make a move on Fuad Al-Rajla if he can. Right now tires are very cold, so grip is at a premium, especially in these front-engine rear-wheel drive cars. You have a lot of horsepower and not a ton of traction. The mid-engine cars get a little bit better traction out of the corners, especially to start the race. But we'll see what happens as the tires warm up. Up front, Raymond 2 is making a move on Connor Akatela. They're going side by side into the Le Mans curve. We have Connor on the outside, Raymond on the inside, and then Logan McKenzie is looking to get involved. He's going to make it 3 wide. Oh boy, this is just a recipe for disaster heading into Sunset. We'll see if anybody has the nerve to keep it 3 wide, or if somebody backs off. Connor backs off. And Logan McKenzie is going to stick to the inside. Raymond 2 is going to bounce over those curbs and keep the momentum on the outside. We'll see where they wind up. I think that Mustang is going to have the edge. Yes, he does. So as they're fighting here for second place, Matthew Mayer is gone. He's already up to almost a 3-second lead. Raymond 2 files in second. Logan McKenzie finally gets the move done on Connor Akatela and moves into the top podium. Or not the top podium, the third podium spot. Oh, we have a battle here between teammates, Chris McDonald and Damon Mitchell. And Damon stays ahead of his teammate. Back behind, Jason Lynn is in 8th place and holding off Mark Darnell. Looks like he just blipped in and out. No harm, no foul. Further behind, we have Austin Dunbar here, trying to get a little bit closer to Matthew Berger. Oh, a little bit of a break on the apex there. No harm, no foul. See if we can get around him. Matthew Mayer is gone. He is just driving away from the pack, especially as everyone else tries to, you know, find some heat in the tires and really sort out the track conditions. We have a look here for Slugnificent in the multicolored Porsche. He is currently following Mark Darnell in the Horny Toad Racing BMW. He'll be looking to get past him as quickly as possible. But Darnell's going to make that BMW as wide as he can, try to hold off any late chargers from behind. Up front we have, let's see, so Jason Lynn is trying to catch up to Mike DeAlmeida. Aston Martin has a little bit of tricky handling, so I've been told. They head into Sunset, and it looks very composed. Ooh. Yeah, not too bad. Back behind, Fawad Al-Rija looking to keep up with Slugnificent. We'll see if Slug makes a move here into turn 1. He's very close on Mark Darnell. He's alongside now, and Darnell's going to try to stick it to the outside. No, he gives up and just takes the normal racing line, trying to get a good exit. He knows that's not really his battle for today. Slug's just faster. But behind, Fawad Al-Rija is looking to capitalize. Anytime you go off pace, either letting a driver through or there's a battle, there's going to be an opportunity for that driver behind to try to slip in, catch the lead driver unawares. Up front, we are single file. Matthew Mayer, 4-second gap. Well, 3.5 seconds. Then Raymond 2 and Logan McKenzie follow up behind. Connor Ankatelov in the beautiful Ball Crossing Industries Aston Martin. Look, he's showing great pace for the Aston. I think this track might suit the front engine rear wheel drive cars a little bit better than some of the mid engine cars. Not sure if that's because of the bumps or just because of the track layout, but the V8 rear wheel drive cars are certainly having a ball. Slugnificent is the first of the mid engine cars in 9th place. We'll see what he can do. Austin Dunbar looking to get around Matthew Berger perhaps. No, just not quite enough room there. We'll try to set up the exit here and see if he can get him on the Holman straight. But that BMW makes a lot of horsepower. And if he's going to be in the draft of that Mustang ahead of him, I don't think that Porsche has any chance of catching him. Moving back up front, oh, we see Chris McDonald and Damon Mitchell. Damon goes a little bit wide, and Chris has a better run. Let's see if these teammates are going to force the issue into turn 1. Chris pretends like he's going to, but then follows back in line. I'm sure they'll be content to run nose to tail, unless one of them makes a mistake. So further back, we have a little bit of a hold-up here. The green BMW of Darnell is slightly holding up these cars behind, which might lead some opportunities for passing. But back up front, we have a lot of just consistency. One of the main things about these cars is you cannot overheat the tires, otherwise you're going to have a bad time. So putting in lap after lap, consistent lap times, not stressing the tires too much. You're going to want to, not overheat them. Drivers are telling me that the rears are going to fade a little bit quicker than the fronts. So we'll keep an eye on that if we see some of these cars starting to get a little bit squirrely at the end of the race. But right now, these tires are in prime condition. We're only 8 minutes into this race. They're warmed up. They're getting the maximum grip that they can. As these cars burn off fuel, they'll set quicker and quicker lap times. But yeah, right now, everyone's just kind of doing their own pace. It's not really too much fighting. Maybe a little bit of tire saving, fuel saving. So we'll go back to Fouad El-Rejla, who's looking to catch up to Mark Darnell. Fouad in the Bing Chilling Machine is probably got a little bit of a horsepower edge over the BMW, but see if he can make it work going into turn 1. It's probably not enough of a gap there. Oh, he looks. Makes it. Yeah, Darnell did not defend too hard, and he goes super wide anyways. He'll get a better run, but no. The Mustang clearly has that corner into turn 2, and there's nothing he can really do. Great move by Fouad. We are 5 laps into our 20-minute race, about halfway done. And so far, it's Matthew Mayer out in front, followed by Raymond 2, Logan McKenzie. The front has a fairly large gap, about a second per car in between, of course, other than Matthew Mayer, who's 4 seconds out in front now. So we'll ride on board with Mayer as he goes through his lap and see exactly what he's doing. One of the advantages the Mustang GT4 has over some of the other cars like the McLaren is a lot of driver information is on the... Ooh, there's a car in front. It looks like that may be Ethan Brown having some trouble into the Le Mans curve. The Mustang has a lot of information on its dash. You can get tire pressures, all sorts of things. You know, deltas, change the brake bias. The McLaren can't do that. So last season we saw a lot of drivers start with McLaren. Then by the end of this season we barely had any at all. Something about the new update, it doesn't really play nice on the tires. It doesn't have the top speed that it once had, and you just don't have as many driver changes available. You can't change the brake bias. You don't have visibility to the tire pressures. So a lot of the other GT4 cars just have more information available. You can see the sparks flying off the car as he makes it around the corner here, heading on to the Kearney Bend, to the hairpin. Back behind, Damon Mitchell still leads his teammate, Chris McDonald. The Grouped Cop Racing Mustangs. They're about the closest battle we have on track right now. I'll let you know if anything changes, but we'll just follow along. There are a lot of Mustangs in Season 3. Last season, the Groupcock Racing boys raced the BMW. So this season, switching up to the Ford. I think there's a couple advantages. It's got very good gearing. The BMW and some other cars has some slightly difficult to manage ratios between second and third. The Mustang is just, it's solid. It's got a lot of power. It's a big car, but it's pretty nimble, all things considered. The Coyote engine just sounds great too. So a lot of teams are switching to that for now. We'll see if they make a change halfway through the season. It's only an 8-race season, so a lot of drivers like to experiment with the first couple of rounds and see what suits their driving style best. Oh, Darnell going very wide there. Oh, McLaren also kicking the rear out as they exit Le Mans and go onto the Ullman Straight. Once again, David Mitchell keeping the car out wide while Chris McDonald has a tighter line through Sunset. I think carrying that extra speed is going to be very beneficial for the 27 car. There's a battle for 11th place. We have Lieutenant Dan looking to make a move on newcomer Matthew Berger. It's not quite enough room there, but the Beaver Busters McLaren, presented by Ling Long Tire, is going to be looking to make a move. Oh. Probably set up an exit here and see if you can get him into the hairpin. We'll ride aboard with Matthew Berger. And the gearbox. So into the braking zone. Lieutenant Dan closes the gap. See if he can get the McLaren does have great exit, but the BMW has just more horsepower. As they power away, the gap builds, and there's not really room for Lieutenant Dan to make a pass at this time. We'll keep an eye on this battle as it's the closest on track at the moment. Oh. A little bit of a twitch there. The BMW is known to do that. It does have a little bit of power on oversteer, so you have to be careful on the throttle, especially when you're between Cunningham and Tower. That section of the track, you cannot go flat out in the BMW. Even on warm tires, it does not stick. The rear end wants to kick out. It's making a lot of power. It just doesn't have the grip. Lieutenant Dan gets a great exit out of Le Mans curve, and he is side by side already. Got a great advantage into Sunset. He'll have the inside, and I think this might be job done for Lieutenant Dan. Oh, that's a lot of bouncing over the curbs. But he manages to keep it together and exits and is back into 11th place. Back behind, we have a little bit of a battle here for 13th place. Jason Lynn and Jeremy Barber. Lynn falling down the order a little bit. Down 7 positions. Not sure exactly what happened. Might have been a spin or a slide of some sort. But he'll be looking to hold off some of these attacks and try to make up some ground. David Mitchell still holding off his teammate by about 7/10 of a second or so. And again, up front, it's a lot of conserving tires, making sure that you're maximizing your corner entry, corner exit. The draft isn't particularly strong here. There are some straights, but in these cars, it's not as significant as others. There's not an off track out there. The Mont Curve is the normal racing line, even though it looks like it's a very different type of material for the track. You're allowed to go out there, and that just sets you up for a better exit onto this long straight. We're on lap 9, 17 minutes down out of the 20 minutes, so we'll probably get one more lap after this one. And right now, Matthew Mayer is cruising. He has got a 4.5 second gap in front. Raymond 2, still second place. And Logan Kinsey still holding on to that podium spot. But the front of the field has stretched out just a little bit. So we'll stay here with these Mustangs. I'll never get tired of hearing that coyote. Some of our biggest movers of the race, we have Fuad Al-Rajla up 4 places, and Damon Mitchell's up 3, Slugnificent's up 3, Lieutenant Dan's up 3, and Matthew Berger's up 3. Also Jeremy Barber. Some of the folks who maybe not have a good first heat as they would have wanted. Connor Arcatella down a couple of positions up front. Jason Lind down 7. I don't believe there's any team orders for the Groomcock Racing boys. They can go ahead and battle each other as much as they want. As long as they don't wreck. We got a team championship to think of. And speaking of, our team championship last year went to the duo of John Lazon and Mark Darnell in the Unparalleled Racing team. That team is not in this race. So the defending champs, actually the team got dissolved. So Mark Darnell's now with the Horny Toad Racing team. And John Lazon is going to be a part-time driver this season, so we've been told. So hopefully we see him later on the grid, but that's going to open the door for another team to get a lot of points and unseat that, take the second team championship. I think if you're looking, behind we have Fuad Al-Rajla and Slugnificent having a nice battle. And Slug looks to the inside. He's going to try to hold it. Fuad gets a better run on the outside. But then, once again, Slug's on the inside for the next corner. Fuad gets a little bit into the dirt. It's going to kind of dampen his exit just a bit. But he's going to stay on the inside for the hairpin. We'll see who's braver on the brakes. It's going to be Fuad. Slugnificent's going to look to cross over, maybe get the power down a little bit earlier, but there's just no room. That Mustang is taking up a lot of space, especially on the apex. And Al-Rajla keeps the position. We are on our last lap. Matthew Mayer is cruising. 4-second lead. He may have taken his foot off the gas just a little bit. He's only got a few more corners to navigate before taking the heat race win for race 1. Slugnificent still looking to make a move on Al-Rajla. Oh, he looks to the inside. There's not much room there. So he'll tuck back in. He's going to try to set up a good exit out of Le Mans corner. He's going very deep. Late apex. Oh, he's really riding those curves. Oh, it just goes way too wide. That's unfortunate. He did what he could, but no lack of effort there. Al-Rajla keeps the position. As long as he can hold it together in Sunset, he'll stay 8th place. Those bumps are certainly something else. Al-Rajla keeps the position, but it's Matthew Mayer in front who wins Heat 1. Raymond 2 finishes 2nd, and Logan McKenzie rounds out the podium. Here are your results for Week 1, Race 1. We have Raymond 2. I'm sorry, that is not correct. Let's see what happened. Aha! Ignore that. We have Matthew Mayer, who wins the race. There it goes. Raymond 2 finishes 2nd, 3.9 seconds behind Logan McKenzie. Here's your podium finisher. Connor Ecatella finishes 4th, David Mitchell 5th, Chris McDonald 6th, Mike De Almeida 7th, Fuad Al-Rajla 8th, Slugnificent finishes 9th, and Mark Darnell rounds out the top 10. Lieutenant Dan finishes 11th, Matthew Berger 12th, Jason Lynn 13th, Austin Dunbar 14th, Jeremy Barber 15th, Ethan Brown 16th, and Kurt Smith, unfortunately, after that first lap incident, finishes 17th. We have a little bit of a break until the feature race. The feature race is going to be a little bit later in the day. The track is going to be cooled down just a little bit. So we'll go ahead and skip ahead as the sun is going down. It's not going to get to be full darkness, but it's going to get a little bit darker. And we'll throw the grid up here because, as you can see, we have a couple of Mustangs on the front that were not the top finishers of the last race. That's because we have that 6th place invert. So we have Chris McDonald, who finished 6th in race 1. He'll start on pole. His teammate Damon Mitchell will start 2nd place, and Connor Acatella will start 3rd, next to Logan McKenzie. Raymond 2 and Matthew Mayer are going to be looking to make early moves to try to get back out front. We'll see. Usually there's a little bit of chaos with this invert. The second race of the heat races tends to get a little bit argy-bargy. We'll see how that plays out. Mike Dalmeda starts 7th, next to Fuad Al-Rijla. And Slugnificent Mark Darnell start 9th and 10th. Lieutenant Dan and Matthew Berger will start 11th and 12th. '13th will be Jason Lynn next to Austin Dunbar, Jeremy Barber and Ethan Brown, and then Kurt Smith is not going to be starting this race. All right. They're rounding through Sunset. The pace truck veers off. We have Barney flag in hand. Green flag. Here we go. And we have David Mitchell and Chris McDonald going side by side. Chris on the inside. Damon on the very outside. He's going to look to maximize that corner entry. Raymond 2 made up a few positions already. And he's going to be... Oh, David Mitchell goes a little bit wide. We're 2 by 2. Almost 3 by 3 back there. Raymond 2 got a great job, so he's already battling for 2nd place and actually takes 2nd from Damon Mitchell. And Connor Acatella is going to look to get involved. Acatella chooses the 27 Mustang to kind of push behind. Now he's not sure exactly where to go. It's all coming to the hairpin now. Logan McKenzie looking racy with cool tires. Brave move. Maybe got a little bit of brake checked there. Not sure. Raymond 2 still trying to make that pass on Damon Mitchell. Mitchell's not making it easy. He's going to have the inside for the next corner. Raymond leaves enough space. It's good racing between the two of them. But Raymond does end up in front. Now, Chris McDonald is able to get away from that a little bit. And he's got about a 7/10 of the lead. Further down, we have Slugnificent still looking to make a move on Al-Rijla. He's probably sick looking at that Mustang, to be honest. And further back, we have Mark Darnell trying to fend off a couple of Porsches at the rear end of the field. I think Darnell had trouble warming up those tires and dropped a few positions on the start. Up front, we have Chris McDonald, and Raymond 2 is right behind him now. Raymond looks to the inside. Is he going to make a move? Yep, he is. Chris leaves him space. But Raymond's going to have a much better exit, and Damon's going to make a move on his teammate too, and he moves him out of the way. Chris is... Oh no, we have a spinner. We have Connor Acatella, and that's going to be some damage. Unfortunately for him, that Aston just could not get the tires warmed up the right way, and Logan McKenzie makes a move on Chris McDonald, so that's first to possibly fourth in a series of turns for Chris McDonald. And here comes Matthew Mayer right behind. Logan's going to keep the nose in. Mayer's going to look to see if he can get through. No. McDonald slams the door. There's no room there. Back behind, Jason Lynn looking to follow. Oh, he's just having some connection issues. So we'll go back to Chris McDonald. And this is perfect for Raymond too. Raymond got all the way up to third place by the first corner. And now he's got clear air as Mayer gets around Chris McDonald. And Mayer got stuck in traffic. That sometimes happens with the invert. You know, it's a little bit of luck, a little bit of choosing the right line, the right cars to follow through. And Raymond is going to have a major advantage here as, you know, his championship rival kind of got held up a bit. Mike Dalmeda is looking to pounce on Chris McDonald here if he can get a little bit closer. Now we are a single file. Drivers turning up the aggression just a little bit in this race too. As a result of the invert, whenever the top 6 or 7 drivers are all fighting for positions, that's going to bunch up the field and give some other drivers opportunities to make passes. So up front, Raymond 2 leads the field into Sunset. Damon Mitchell is in second currently. Logan McKenzie in that third place. And Matthew Mayer has got some ground to make up. If he wants to catch Raymond, he's going to have to dispatch Logan McKenzie as quickly as possible because those Mustangs are fast. Here we go, lap 3. We are 5 minutes into our 25-minute race this time. Drivers have a little bit more fuel. Like I said before, the track is a little bit cooler. It's getting a little bit darker as well. That's going to help the grip on these tires. The drivers will be able to push just a little bit harder. And there looks to the inside, not quite room there. So we get a nice drone shot here behind the trees, of course. So we'll experiment a little bit with the camera work here. Matthew Mayer gets a little bit squirrely on the exit of the corner. Like I said before, that's a tricky part of the track. There's not a lot of grip. It's really hard to get the power down. And as they make their way, Logan McKenzie is doing everything he can to keep that Mustang behind him. We have our Season 1 champion holding off our Season 2 champion. I would expect that these two are going to have lots of battles for the season to come. Back behind, still single file. Darnell looking to make me. We'll see what's going on here. So Austin Dunbar actually gets the better of Darnell. Darnell was looking like he was going to make a move on Ethan Brown. But Austin Dunbar sneaks inside into Sunset, gets power down, and just steals a position from Darnell. I don't think he was expecting that. Back out front, Logan McKenzie still has a big Mustang in his mirrors. Mayer goes a little bit wide onto the grass. But he's got a lot of power. McKenzie doesn't have to go defensive yet. But if McKenzie starts to go defensive, that's going to allow Damon Mitchell and Raymond 2 to just get away even further. That's why this invert is so interesting, because Raymond just got luckier, got better, and Matthew Mayer is stuck. If Connor Acatella looking to make a move on Matthew Berger, that is a sad looking Aston. Frowny face emojis in the chat, everyone. So he did not pit for repairs. He elected to keep it out on track. We'll see what happens at the end of the race. Further up the field, Fuad Al-Rejla is now chasing Slugnificent. So Slug finally got around him, and now Jason Lin is looking to get around the Bing Chilling Mustang. Lin goes a little bit deeper into the Monk curve, trying to get a better exit. That Mustang's just got so much horsepower. I don't know if it's going to be enough, especially with the slipstream in front. Al-Rejla's going to have, oh yeah, it's not even close. And Darnell's going to be looking to make up a position on Austin Dunbar, if he can help it. Probably kicking himself for leaving the door open on the last lap. And we have Logan McKenzie and Matthew Mayer side by side entering turn 1. Oh, and Mayer goes wide just into the grass. They're still side by side, but McKenzie's going to have the edge. He's going to have the inside. Mayer tries the over-under, but there's no room. So he's going to have to get the power down and power through the Gurney Bend? Yes, Gurney Bend into the hairpin. And we're going to ride on board with Mayer. There's no room there. Whoa. That is very tight into the hairpin. And get the power down. Into Cunningham. Again, you have to be a little bit careful on the throttle. Make sure you don't get any wheel spin. There is not a lot of room there on the outside. Logan McKenzie left a car's width and maybe an inch, and Mayer took it all. There's a lot of sliding from Mayer. That was a risky move. Like I said before, the more that Logan McKenzie drives defensively, the better it is for Damon Mitchell, who's still in that P2 spot. And Mayer's going to get more and more frustrated just watching Ray disappear into the distance. We're into the golden hour here. The setting sun may cause some visibility issues for some of our drivers. Hopefully they have tinted visors on their helmets. Mayer looks a little bit neater through sunset than the Mercedes does, but not enough to close the gap. McKenzie still keeps him behind. For the back, Chris McDonald is still hanging on to 5th place, but Mike D'Almeida is chasing him down. Gap right now about 0.3 of a second. See what's going on here. So we had maybe a blip, not sure. Jason Lin is right all over the Mustang of Fuad Al-Rejla. See if he makes a move into hairpin. Oh, heavy on the brakes. He gets it slowed down in time. And they continue. Again, Chris McDonald trying to hold off the charging Aston Martin. Mike D'Almeida trying to pick up the pieces from when Connor went off on lap 1. Make up some points for the team championship. But nothing doing so far. Meanwhile, this is our closest battle on track. Well, we have several close ones, but this one's probably the most significant. These are championship contenders that are vying for the last podium spot. So we'll stick with it here. Lieutenant Dan gets around his teammate, Ethan Brown. Into turn 1. Logan McKenzie still holding off Matthew Mayer. And just not close enough to make a move. Through this section, they just really need to maximize their exit to get a move done into hairpin, perhaps the long corner, or sunset. Those are your best passing opportunities. Looks like they're starting to catch up to Damon Mitchell just a little bit. If they work together, they might be able to catch it. But the more they fight and go defensive, like this, once again, McKenzie goes defensive, Mayer takes the outside, but there's no room to cross over. It's just going to slow both of them down. For the back, we have the big honkers machine of Jason Lynn looking to make a move on Al Rejla. And having a little bit of connection issues. Mustang takes a lot of curb. Is able to get the power down. We have McKenzie and Mayer side by side, exiting sunset. Mayer trying to get the power down on the outside, maybe get that better exit, but he can't quite do it. And Logan defending hard into turn 1. He is not going to let Mayer get that inside. If Mayer's going to get around, he's going to do it on the outside because Logan says no. Into turn 2 they go. Again, McKenzie on the inside. No room for a crossover here. Almost touch. That is about as close as you can get. Mayer's going to have a great chance going into the hairpin. We'll ride him on board. Defenzi, oh, what a move. But again, Logan McKenzie takes that inside, and I can't see him. There he is. There's just not enough grip on the outside to really get the power down. It's got to be so frustrating for Mayer. McKenzie goes to the inside. We'll back up. They're side by side still. Here's a chance for a crossover if he can get it to stick. There's not a lot of room. He's got to get it done as soon as possible. Nope. A surprise move here, but once again, McKenzie's going to have the inside, although Mayer is going to have the inside of Lamont. So this might work out. It's going to be a drag race into the sunset. McKenzie gets the better exit, but the Mustang's got a lot of horsepower. We'll see if he can keep up. It's going to be a little bit of side draft too, but this time, Mayer has the inside. It's the first time I could really say that. Into sunset they go. McKenzie trying to hold down the outside. Mayer on the inside. And the big chilling machine powers down, gets the job done, and motors into third place. Excellent move. We haven't talked about him much, but Raymond 2 enjoying not seeing a lot of cars behind him. He's got a 2.8 second lead over Damon Mitchell, and he's just cruising right now. We have, let's see, about 7 minutes left in this race. And he is looking to maximize his points. David Mitchell started second. He's still in second. Well done to him for holding off some of those hard chargers. See if he can keep it up for the end of the race. Now that Mayer's been released in third place, he's going to go chase down Damon Mitchell. Don't know if there's going to be enough time left for that or not, but we'll see. Once he got past Logan McKenzie, the gap between those two drivers has opened up a little bit, and I would expect Mayer to continue that pace that he had in the first race and stretch this gap even further. Chris McDonald, still in 5th place. Started on pole, but was able to not get totally run over by some of the championship contenders, but is able to hold his own and actually pulled out a bit of a gap over Mike De Almeida in 6th. For the back, we have Slugnificent in 7th, followed by Al Rijla and Jason Lynn. We'll go back to Matthew Mayer here. Drivers are starting to pull out a bit of a gap. There's not as many tight battles. But if they finish as they stand, we will have, let's see, we will have a slight edge of points to Raymond 2. So I'm sure Mayer would love to get one more spot on that podium, get that 2nd place to continue his championship aspirations. We'll ride aboard with Jason Lynn as he looks to perhaps make a late move on Fuad Al Rijla. Into hairpin they go, heavy on the brakes. The Mercedes does have good exit traction. However, the Mustang just has more horsepower. Another reason why drivers may be switching to the Mustang is there's another series that iRacing has where it's a Mustang only series. So a lot of drivers have switched to that because they'll be running that Mustang in other series, other leagues, and just for consistency's sake, they'll run it here as well. This is our closest battle on track. Fuad Al Rijla leads Jason Lynn by about 0.3 of a second. We'll see if Lynn tries something here into Sunset. Not this time. Both cars go a little bit wide. You can see some damage on Al Rijla. I wonder when that happened. That front bumper looking a little damaged. Probably not affecting the car too bad. We are on lap 11, 22 minutes into this race. It's a 25-minute race. The driver's just starting to stretch out a little bit further. There's a view from the hairpin. And Lynn is really just waiting for Alrigila to make a mistake so he can capitalize. And the lights go on the cars as the sun continues to set. We should have one more lap if the timing screen agrees. So into sunset we go. Jason Lynn still trying to keep up with, perhaps make a move on Alrigila. He's running out of opportunities to do it though. Just hanging out in the draft, waiting for Alrigila to make a mistake. And unfortunately he goes wide at the exit of turn 1, and that is probably going to do it for his 8th place hope. Meanwhile, up front, Raymond 2 has not put a tire wrong all race. He's got a 5-second lead over Damon Mitchell and is one of the fastest cars on track. Last time around, did a 2:10.66. Matthew Mayer was quicker by 0.2, but too little too late. David Mitchell is looking like he's going to be able to hold on to that 2nd place position. Mayer's just not close enough. Last time around, Mayer was 0.7 faster. But this is going to be the last lap, and there's not enough time left in this race to make a move. Raymond 2 exits Le Mans corner onto the Ullman straight. Gets the car slowed down for sunset. Goes over those bumps. And will take the feature race win. David Mitchell finishes 2nd. Matthew Mayer, the 3rd step on the podium for him. Logan McKenzie finishes 4th. And Chris McDonald holds off Mike D'Almeida. Got a little bit closer at the end, but McDonald finishes in 5th place. D'Almeida 6th. Jeez. A little bit of post-race activities. Nothing to see here. Just some drivers celebrating what is the first race of the 8-race schedule. And I'm sure we'll be seeing some victory donuts here shortly. As we get our results for the race. All right, the feature race, Raymond 2 wins with a 5.7 second margin of victory over Damon Mitchell, finishes 2nd. Matthew Mayer rounds out the podium for the Being Chilling Mustang. Logan McKenzie finishes 4th. Chris McDonald 5th. Mike D'Almeida 6th. Significant 7th. Fuad Alrigila 8th. Jason Lynn 9th. And Mark Darnell rounds out the top 10. Lieutenant Dan finishes 11th. Connor Eckatell 12th. Recovers after that lap 1 incident. Matthew Berger 13th. Austin Dunbar 14th. Ethan Brown 15th. Jeremy Barber 16th. And then Kurt Smith, who did not start the race. All right, it's time to take a look at our championship points. We have Raymond 2 getting 56 out of a total of 60 points for the first weekend sprint races. Matthew Mayer won the first one, came in third in the second race, so he finishes with 53 points. David Mitchell has 43, tied with Logan McKenzie. Chris McDonald is fifth with 32 points. Mike D'Almeida, Connor Arcatella, Fuad Al-Rijla, The Slugnificent, and Mark Darnell ran out the top 10. Jason Lynn, Lieutenant Dan, Matthew Berger, Austin Dunbar, Ethan Brown, Jeremy Barber, and Kurt Smith round out the after week 1. We got some bumper cars going around in the background. All right, and now the team championship. We actually have a tie between the Groomed Cock Racing team and Bing Chilling, both with 75 points. Really great effort from both of those teams. Roadkill Racing, which is Slugnificent and Logan McKenzie, are in third with 65 points. The B4D Weenie Hut Racing team scored 56. Ball Crushing Industries, 53 points. In sixth place, we have the Beaver Busters with 15. 40 Toad Racing with 14. And finally, Big Honkers with 13 points this weekend. That is all I have for you this week. Thank you so much if you're still here with me for sticking with me and watching some exciting racing. I'm so excited to be sharing this with you. Very looking forward to the rest of the season. I can't wait to see what you guys have in store. Yeah, just really excited. Thanks for stopping by. See you next week.